Every morning, the scent of espresso lingered in the air. The clink of cups, the shuffle of feet, the hum of quiet conversations, it was the familiar rhythm of the Starbucks on Maple and Fifth. Customers came and went, lost in their daily routines, but none of them ever really noticed the small shadow that slipped between cars in the parking lot or the quiet golden glint that sometimes reflected from behind the dumpsters. That was her space, her corner of the world. The feral cat with eyes like amber fire. No one knew where she came from. Some guessed she'd been born behind the shop. Others said she had once belonged to someone nearby but had been left behind. Her fur was dusty, her body lean, and her movements precise, like someone who learned long ago that trusting the wrong person could cost you everything. The Starbucks staff nicknamed her Mocha. They left out bits of croissant and sandwich ends, always hoping she'd come closer. But she never did. She watched, waited, and vanished. The moment someone took a step too close, that changed one cloudy October morning. A man named David sat down outside the cafe with a laptop and black coffee, unaware his life was about to change. He was a writer, often working from coffee shops, and this one had become his regular spot. That day, while scribbling notes in a leather-bound journal, he saw movement out of the corner of his eye. A flash of brown and black fur, a tail disappearing behind the trash bins, and something tugged at him. He asked the barista about the cat. They smiled. She's been here forever. No one can touch her, but she always comes back. David began leaving little offerings. Small bites of grilled chicken, fresh tuna, quiet words, spoken gently into the wind. No sudden movements, no expectations. It took a week for her to stop running when he sat down. 2 weeks before she began watching him openly, her golden eyes unblinking, her small body crouched beneath the edge of the patio. 3 weeks in, she took her first step forward. Just one, then retreated. David didn't push. He showed up every morning, rain or shine, left the same food, spoke the same way, sometimes read aloud from his journal. Then, one day, she touched his shoe, just a soft brush of fur against leather before darting back. It was small, but to David it was everything. He named her Mocha, like the others had, but added a softness to the way he said it, like it was sacred. Winter crept in, and David grew more worried. The temperatures dropped. Nights became longer. He bought a small outdoor cat shelter and placed it near the dumpster where she liked to sleep. He lined it with fleece, left it undisturbed. She used it. By Christmas, Mocha let him touch her head, briefly, tentatively. Her ears always flicked, muscles tensed, but she stayed. And then came the storm. A brutal freeze swept the city one January night. Winds howled, trees cracked, and Mocha didn't appear the next morning. The next day, no. By the third day, panic had rooted in his chest. He walked the entire block, called out softly through alleys, left Funatha. That night, he returned to the coffee shop, stood in the dark drizzle, and whispered, "Please come back. Just come back." Then he heard it. A low, pitiful meow. It came from beneath a delivery van, near the corner. David didn't think. He crouched, held out his jacket, and prayed. And Mocha finally walked straight into his arms. She didn't fight. She didn't flinch. She just collapsed against his chest, as if she'd been waiting for him all along. At the emergency vet, they discovered she had a mild sprain and early signs of frostbite on her ears. Nothing life-threatening, but enough to have broken her spirit if left untreated. David took her home that night. He wrapped her in blankets, hand-fed her soft food, played classical music, whispered stories. And Mocha, this feral, street-smart shadow of a cat, she curled up beside him, followed him from room to room, slept on his chest, meowed when he left, waited by the door for him to return. She'd found her human, and she wasn't letting go. Months passed, and Mocha transformed. Her coat grew sleek and glossy. She gained healthy weight. She discovered windows, sunbeams, soft toys, and the joy of sitting on a keyboard exactly when David needed to type. She began doing something unexpected. She gave tiny, deliberate licks to his cheek or hand whenever he was sad or quiet. David once wrote, "She doesn't just live with me, she knows me, feels me. She's not a pet, she's a soulmate in fur." And it was true. The cat who once hissed at human contact now purred so loudly in his arms that it felt like a heartbeat against his own. Their bond became legendary among David's friends and neighbors. He joked that she had become a total daddy's pet, following him everywhere, demanding lap time, and even talking to him in chirps and mews. But beneath the laughter was something unshakably real. Love, earned, tested, true. Mocha never forgot her past. She still got nervous during storms, still preferred small, quiet spaces. But she had learned something even stronger than fear: trust. And David, he'd started writing a book, a true story, he said, about healing, second chances, and the unexpected ways love shows up in our lives, sometimes outside a coffee shop, in the form of a dusty, golden-eyed cat who just needed someone to notice. Today, Mocha sleeps on a velvet cushion in David's writing studio. Her favorite Toya plush coffee cup sits nearby, and every now and then, when the light is just right, David catches her watching him with that same old gaze. Not fearful, not distant, but full of warmth, like someone who finally knows their home.